great champion Manny Pacquiao has been, and I've been following Pacquiao since he first came to America. Obviously, I'm from the UK, and my first introduction to Pacquiao was when he fought Antonio Barrera, and at this time I didn't know who Manny Pacquiao was. I never heard of him, didn't know nothing about him. Obviously, I wasn't a fan because I didn't know him, and I was a fan of Barrera. So I was just watching Barrera fight, as far as I was concerned, an unknown fighter from the Philippines. And when I saw Manny Pacquiao fight, I had no choice to become a fan of his fighting style, because the first thing that stood out to me was his toughness, not just his ability to the striking, the punching, but the way he could take punishment. When I saw the punishment that he was taking from Marco Antonio Barrera, who is a legend and, one of the best Mexican fighters of all time, 100%. And obviously I saw Barrera's epic fights with Eric Morales. Their fights were unbelievable. Seeing Pacquiao, I was like, wow, this Filipino guy, he can he can fight. That was my thought process. And even the commentators at the time, they didn't know much about Pacquiao, and they were like, wow, they couldn't even pronounce his name. I didn't even say his name right at the time. They were like Pacquiao. They were like, wow, this guy, and he beat Barrera, and that's what made me take note. Because I like to think that I'm, a good judge of character, and I know a good fighter when I see one, and it's pretty obvious. And then after the Barrera fight, I continued watching boxing. I follow a lot of boxers over the years, and then this Pacquiao crops up again. I'm like, oh, that's the guy that that beat a legend. That's the guy that was in a war with Barrera and beat Barrera, and then he had another fight at Barrera, beat him, and then he fought Morales. I was like, wow, he's taking on Morales, and I believe he lost. He lost one of the fights to Morales, but he gave him a hell of a fight. And I remember Pacquiao was devastated at the end. He was crying because he lost, and then he rematched Eric Morales, improved, learnt from the loss, and knocked Morales out. And I think they've done another one. So that was my introduction to Manny Pacquiao. And then obviously he got bigger and bigger, and then the Ricky Hatton fight, and then the De La Hoya fight, and then by the time we got to the Miguel Cotto fight, I just loved him as a fighter, right? So this Errol Spence fight, I'm going to say a few points and things that have been, people have been paying so much attention to this age thing, right? And I can understand, but people get obsessed. The generation today, we're obsessed with, when someone's 30, it's like they're a granddad, they're old in boxing, as far as a lot of people are concerned today. Make a big deal out of age.